Alright, so the guided readers, as I was telling you, there's, I think, 6 come of each reader in the guided kit. And they have maths concepts embedded in them. So I'm actually going to give out, some of you will have this one that you've got in your pack to take home. I'm going to give out some of these that I will need back just so that you can all have a bit of a look at it. What I did with my group, because it was the first time I'd used the kit, we read it together and I asked them to tell me what maths was in there. So I'm going to get you to do the same thing, see what you can find. And they come up with some really good things, so I'll just give you a couple of minutes to look at one. Okay, now you've had a bit of a chance to read the book. What sort of maths concepts did you pick up through it? Time, money,
fractions,
location,
shape,
capacity, chance of data,
chance of data.
mapping, yes. So you can see it's quite, measurement. It's quite rich in maths. And the kids I worked with came up with most of those things. I was really pleased. They did come up with length and fractions. And on this page I was very excited because although the kids I work with are usually very good with number, I just think their problem solving is not always crash hot. And I felt that was more important to work on with them. We've been doing a lot on patterning and how patterning is important to solve problems. I said, it's a pattern, Mrs. Fascinetti. So it was good though that they noticed that. But that's just to show there is a lot of maths embedded in there. This particular page is focused on addition and subtraction. And there's an activity that goes with it, which is on the interactive. So I'll have a look at that. Before I do that, one thing I did want to just mention too is the connection between guided reading and maths I really liked and worked very well too, because I think one of the things that's really important in teaching maths is the language. And sometimes you tend to overlook it, but things like the word odd, outside maths, you know, he looks odd, is quite different from what odd means in maths. And even something like difference between. What's the difference between 1 and 3? Well, 1's straight and 3's curvy. But that's actually in maths not what it means. And I like the way this program allows you to focus on the maths, language and context and make that explicit for children. I think it's a really important aspect of it. So moving on to the interactive. The interactive is exactly the same as the book that you've got, except that it includes an activity and some teacher notes. By the way, with the guided reading, there also comes a teacher copy, which I don't have. I don't know if you have one.
I'll get one.
Has reading the visuals, questions that you can ask kids, all sorts of prompts for you along the way. And the digital interactive also has that, which you can pop up. There we go. So the teaching copy has a focus on meaning, structure and the visuals, reading the visuals. Tells you what the high frequency words are to focus on. So it's a good solid guided reader as well as the maths section of it. And the key concepts in the back there. Thank you. Jolene?
Sorry.
Now I wanted to show you the interactive part. I might just have to escape out of that to do so. So yesterday I didn't actually have this, and I thought it was really worthwhile showing you. So this is what it looks like. It has the e-books, which you can then, so we'll do the same one so you can see. You can then access. It has a listen button if you want. I don't know if this has sound, but so it can read it for you, or you can read it. I figured my kids were, but because the group I work with, I don't have the literacy. I didn't quite know whether it would be appropriate for them to read it. I thought probably sit here and me. So we did it that way. But then you can just page through, like you would a normal book. It's got little cues for There we go, reading the visuals. So for this one, for the maths focus, ask how many cents is each stamp on the letter worth, how much are they worth altogether. So it gives you a bit of a guide there. And then, we'll get to the page that I gave you so you can see. There we go. On the other side is a digital interactive activity. So this one is looking at adding 2-digit numbers. And when I used it, I asked my kids how they would do that, and they actually came up with quite a few different ways. They're obvious, you know, I added 30 and 20 and then 5 and 3. Or I started with 35, I added on 20 and I added the 3. It also, and the teacher book, which I'll show you in a moment, has common misconceptions. I got a really interesting misconception when I did this that I'd never even thought of. One of my kids said, oh, I did it a different way. And I said, how did you do it? And he said, well, 52, then if I add 3 I get 55, and if I add another 3 I get 58. And I went, that works, so let's try it with some new numbers. Let's try that way again and see if it works. So then we tried 11 plus 4 plus 6. Did that actually get the same answer as everyone else did when they did it the other ways? No, it didn't. So I was really glad that he spoke up, because he could have left that lesson with a really interesting, just happened to work for that set of numbers. But yeah, it was absolutely applauded me, that one, really interesting way to admit. We'll look at the activity cards at the moment, but while I've got this open, I'll just show you. It refers to it, the cards often refer to activity sheets, and they're all on the CD-ROM as well. So you just need to look at the activity you're doing.